So this is Gladys Girdles. She's my next widow who we're gonna build a bungalow for on Hysteria Lane. And she's gonna be right here next to Maureen Mechanicook, who we did last time, except it's gonna be very different. So sit yourselves down and get ready for the absolute travesty that Gladys Girdles is gonna be bringing us today. She's a cat lady. She really likes cats, and that's gonna be expressed throughout in this build. But we're just gonna go around and obviously do the house, the exterior, kind of just carbon copying the house next door in this one because it's a semi-detached and it's just a reflection of Maureen Mechanicook's house. But right now, I'm presumably in Portugal somewhere, provided that I landed safely. So pray for that. And I'm doing this Hysteria Lane Desperate House Widows series for while I'm on holiday. So as these videos go on over the next 2 weeks, if I start to sound more and more delirious and exhausted, it's because I've done the voiceover for everything one day right now while I'm sat down and I'm quite stressed about having to pack my suitcase. So I'm coming in with these gutters again, trying to make this build. It's a British build, so it looks very stagnant. It looks stagnant and vacuous and vapid because British builders don't really know how to apply any kind of style to any of the builds that they do these days. So we're going to try and make some detail by adding some imperfections and creating some completely unnecessary window ledges as we're doing right now. Just to try and get a bit more texture in here where there isn't any. I miss when we used to build houses and they used to actually like get stone carvers to do little sculptures and they'd have like archways above the front door and things like that. And I'm actually thinking at some point I might actually do a build where it's my interpretation of how that would look today if we'd continued actually giving a single shit about what our builds look like in the UK. So maybe let me know if you'd be interested in seeing my interpretation of what that would look like. But yes, just going around and adding all these completely unnecessary details that I felt like was me trying to make, well, it was just me polishing a turd really, isn't it? But yes, Gladys Girdles. What can I tell you about Gladys? You're going to see a lot more of what Gladys is like as a person, but she's a widow, and I actually don't... What was she? I don't even know if she was married. Gladys is the only widow along here, where I can't actually imagine what her life looked like before she was Gladys as she is today. I'm not sure if she was ever married, so I don't know if she even constitutes the word widow. I'm not sure what she did before she became a retired old lady. I'm not sure what she did before she moved in here. I sort of feel like Gladys just spawned one day, completely formed as she is now, from some kind of like wedding dress charity shop. And upon leaving, she stumbled into a stray cat and the rest is history. And that's all I can really tell you about Gladys. So we're going to separate her house here from the next house along, which we'll be doing in the next video. And you're going to see that this quite quickly becomes tragic. Because Gladys does not give a single shit really what her house looks like. So her garden compared to what Maureen's next door looks like is just really going to be in a jungle. It's just going to be a stray jungle. So we're going to copy these hedges over but keep them very wild looking. And we're going to come in here with the front garden right away with a swatch of just grotesque mixed grass and dirt because she does not care a single bit what this garden looks like. She doesn't tend to it. She really could not care less. Gladys she's the most selfless of these widows that we're going to see in this build, which is a rental build, so they're all going to be on the same lot. But she's the most selfless one. She does not care about herself. She cares about very little other than cats. So she really does not care what this garden looks like. So we're going to have this mix of all sand, and it's all just eroded, and she's just let whatever the garden wants to do happen to this garden. We're going to go in with a little bit of gravel, but even the gravel is not going to be well separated from the travesty of the grass that we see here. We're just going to blend that in and make that look like the grass has started growing in it and the gravel's just been kicked all over the place. It's just a gradient of gravel that just gradually turns into a mess of garden. So using the terrain tools here, and I like using the terrain tools because it makes me feel a little bit like I'm painting in Photoshop. Makes me feel like I'm doing a little bit of a speed painting or something. What else are we doing? A bit of blending in, yeah. So I'm coming in with so many different swatches here for a garden that she does not care about. I clearly cared a lot about getting the correct swatches here. But we're going to come in with her car here and the driveway, which I've put some little tyre marks on. And she does not care. She's just driven that car right on there, any old angle. She's hopped out before it's even stopped rolling. And she's like, yeah, that will do. That's fine. That's good parking. It doesn't matter. So I've also used some, I guess you would find them in the rug category, but they're just like floor decals and stuff of different scratches and scrapes, and just putting some wear and tear on the ground here, because as I've said, these British builds and estates, there's not a lot going on, so I have to make the imperfections as details. But you can see here as we go from Maureen's garden to what I've done with Gladys's garden that it's just a hilarious ridiculous difference. I'm sure Maureen is absolutely devastated when she has to look out of her window and see all of the ivy growing up along Gladys's hedge. And I've done the same in the front here. She's just got all sorts of wildness growing. And I thought I would add this detail here to sort of describe a bit more of what Gladys is like, where she has this this tire mark where she's just driven over the grass. She's not even used the driveway correctly. She's just driven over the grass, and she does not care. She does not give a single shit. She's just left the car, ruined half of the grass, and that's her done, because she just wants to get inside and do cat-based things. So we're adding some detail here again with these like gas outlets or whatever they're called, copying them over from Maureen's house. We're just thieving off Maureen the whole time here with the exterior. But the sad thing is here that I'm going to reveal this detail. Gladys doesn't actually have any cats. So I don't know what that says about her ability to keep them. But currently she doesn't have any, which is somewhat going to make the interior of her house even more sad than it was in the first place once we get inside. And again, I'm just going to show you here this complete contrast between these two old ladies who share a wall. It's just a mess. And I'm even going to insult Gladys even more. I'm really going to be... poor Gladys, I'm being so nasty to her in this build. But I'm even going to put some grass in her gutters here because she's not cleaned them out. She doesn't clean her windows either. So the windows are going to be covered in filth by the end of this build as well. But she's got all soil in there. She's got a whole... what do they call it? Primary succession of how new ecosystems grow, where stuff's degraded into soil, and within that soil in the gutters, she's even got grass starting to propagate, and even on the roof here as well. So I'm so sorry, Gladys, that your house looks like an absolute mess, but it does look very nice and detailed, and I'm really happy with it. So to some extent, I don't apologize. So that's the little finishing touch we're going to do to her exterior. I'm going to move inside now. And I've made this little palette of floors and walls because she's really not thought that hard about what she wants to do here. And I feel like she's almost gone to B&Q, picked out one single lino years ago and decided that that will do for most of the rooms in her house, as well as the carpet. So we're going to go in with this carpet swatch, and then this, it has this gross worn version as well. So just going to dabble that in as well for the worn carpet. Is that wear from her feet? Is it cat pee? Like, who knows? You can decide what that is. Just gonna add some very basic walls. Again, she's just picked one wall and she's left it the same. And the bedroom with the pink carpet, there's a bedroom with pink carpet that we're going to do at the back. I almost thought here that once she's moved in, maybe a little child lived in this room, and she's just not painted it. She's just kept it this pink colour. So immediately we're going in this entryway, and unlike Maureen's very tidy front area, she's just shoved any old shit in this room. So she's got soil and her drying rack, and then we're going to come into the bathroom, and she's just turned this into a sort of laundry bathroom room, and it's going to have all sorts of mess all over the place. She does not care where she's putting anything here, and she's going to have a palette of somewhat white and pink. I do think Gladys is she's quite a pink enjoyer, a bit of a tacky pink enjoyer. And the actual furnishings in the bathroom are very simple, but we're really going to insult her now by adding all of this grease and grime to it. That is, again, me adding detail in the form of just destroying this place and wearing it down and insulting Gladys to the highest degree. She's even got cat scratches on the exterior of the door here, which is a nice detail. I feel like the cats have, you know, she's gone in there to use the toilet and they've just waited outside scratching at the wood because they're not happy about that. Do cats do that? I actually don't know. My dog used to do that, but I have never had a cat, so I don't know if that's cat behavior or not. And then right here in the hallway, she's got these old cat crates that she's just shoved there. She's got some old cat scratching posts and whatever this mounting cat bed thing is. Because she's got new ones, which we're going to see further through the house. So these are all the old ones that she doesn't use anymore, except I guess she's decided this one's a table for the hallway. She does not care. She does not care if she's using items for their intended purpose or not. She's just trying to live her life. And then we're going to go into the kitchen here, and I've used, I think for the first time ever, this broken sort of kitchen swatch palette thing, with all the scratched cupboards and the refrigerator that has all this wear and tear, like the paint's all been scratched off it, because she just doesn't replace things. She's just got all of her old stuff, and she's like, you know what, that's still functional, so why do I need a new one? And does it matter if the paint's scratched on it? No. And honestly, I commend Gladys for that, because she's right. Does it matter? No. It doesn't matter, especially if you've not got anyone coming into your house other than your cats. It really does not matter. So she's going to have these shelves here, which is these basic white ones, and then I'm going to come in with a bunch of clutter that I've picked out when we get there. Hurry up. Where's the clutter? Oh, no, I'm going to come in here with the adding a few of these light switches, but I've changed the light switch to be a lot more of a sort of, what do you call this? Old, like 90s style plastic light switch. She's going to have them with the plugs and the light switch. It's going to be that same old plasticky looking one. And obviously the only part of her kitchen she's put effort into is this central bit, where the cats get a special little rug, which is not a rug, but actually an exercise mat that Gladys does not use. So that it's easy to clean when the cats spill food on it. The cats that she doesn't have, but she can pretend, and she is planning on getting some. So coming in here with the clutter, and I've tried to make this as sort of gross as possible. She's just got a chopping board with a piece of meat stuck on it, and then about two crates of onions that she's just shoved up on the shelf. So yeah, just being absolutely horrible to Gladys throughout this entire build. She's gonna have a cat calendar, obviously. And then a brush that she's obviously tried to put neatly in the corner and it's fallen down, but she doesn't care, she's just left it there. And again, with these grease and grime things, I'm being so horrible, Gladys. But this is what your house does look like. I don't think she really cares. She doesn't really clean. When things wear and tear, she's not bothered about replacing them. She just leaves them. The only things that she will replace are the cat things, because she cares about only the cats. She doesn't care about herself. She's just a selfless icon, is what Gladys is. So she's got all these scratches and, you know, damp, I guess, and bits where the tiles have cracked and bits of the wall plaster have fallen off, and she just doesn't care. Could not give a single shit. I'm really going so overboard with this. I didn't even realize I'd done this much grease and grime. So now we're going to go into the living room, dining room. No, the dining room. And it's really not a dining room. She's going to have this tiny little table here. Obviously in this disgraceful, glittery pink tablecloth. She's just got anything. She just goes to like the shops and buys the most cheapest pink things. And she's like, that'll do. But the rest of the room is obviously just going to be cat things, because she wants the cats to be able to have a nice life. So she's got these even pillows, pillowcases. She's got the cat litter box. It's all in this abhorrent pink, but she does have here this disgraceful looking frame that's got a crack in it that is presumably of her and her husband that she had once, who I can't imagine, because I feel like she made that up. I still think she walked out of a charity shop one day, and she doesn't have a life before that. Gonna put in some cat beds and balls of wool and various things. And then Gladys decided that in the theme of pink that her cats would enjoy having 2 flamingos as well, which, why not? Just give them something else, you know? Give them the enjoyment of knowing what this beautiful bird species is. What am I saying? I don't know. Go in with more scratches. They've just scratched the crap out of this wooden board around the wall. In all of the places where the cat stuff is, they've just scratched. Because despite Gladys giving them all of these nice little cat toys and scratching posts and things, it's apparently not been good enough for them. They've just scratched the walls as well, which is, you know, I don't think the cats really appreciate what Gladys is doing for them. She's even got a little bit of mould on the carpet there. Why did I do this to you, poor Gladys? This build, I can't. Oh, it was just so extra. And no, please don't give her a wet mark. Oh no, I even gave her a little wet mark. Oh dear, I'm so sorry, Gladys. More cat scratches where they've scratched out the litter box. What else am I doing? Am I not done giving her all of these horrible wall treatments? More, no, apparently we needed more plaster to have fallen off the wall. I'm going to come here with some of these. Okay, so we're doing lighting now. We're just going to put the light switches in. I think you're safe, Gladys. I think I've done destroying your dining room. I mean, not that it was great, because that tablecloth is hideous. And the love heart cloth as well next to it. I don't know what she was thinking. I don't think she was thinking. Gonna pop in a little radiator. And of course she needed one of these old lady sort of like sheepskin rugs or whatever they are. But she's used them for the cats, not for herself. Obviously, the cats are the important ones. So she's gonna have some fancy water there, which is not for her again. That's for the cats. She does give the cats some nice, you know, it's not called Evian, is it? But it's clearly that brand of water. And she's going to give that to the cats because the cats are too good to be drinking chlorinated tap water. And now we're going to move into the living room, which again is going to be an absolute travesty. She's got these mildly see-through curtains in a lovely, what is it, floral pattern or something. And yes, half of the living room, actually more than half of the living room is going to be for the cats, including this flamingo that she's decided, again, is going to go on the ceiling, not on the ceiling, on the wall. Why I put so many flamingos in this build, I'm not quite sure. I think it was just pink, and I thought, you know what, Gladys is so unhinged that she's going to have that, and she's also going to have this giant llama, and the cats are going to have that as a big toy, which she absolutely would have bought that llama for the cats and not for herself. We're going to have an iron board there, and she's also got this little height chart on the wall, which is how she measures the growth of the cats, who are her children. She does not have any cats. Please remember that. Her house looks like this, but she does not currently have any cats. So that's just, you know, it's a little bit sad. Light switches, we're going to come in again. And she's just made this room, it's just a mess. It's just an absolute mess. And I'm sure that I will come in and destroy it, as I have done with every other room, and put all of these wall scratches and things everywhere. But, apparently I did give her quite a nice light switch in this, not light switch. Apparently I did give her quite a nice light in this one. I mean, it is just sort of like a cheap paper one, but it's a bit nicer than just having a random source of light. So you're welcome, Gladys. Don't complain too much. You have had a nice little light put in there. And now we're going to come in with all of these cat-themed things. So she's got these. They're obviously fake. Those flowers aren't real, but she's got them in cat things, because she just loves cats. And I also like the idea that she'd just stolen some traffic cones, and also got her cats a little baby carrier thing for when they want to sit next to her as she's watching ITV, and maybe gently rock to sleep. A few more plushies and various things. I don't know what she got the traffic cones for. I thought maybe she was trying to make a little obstacle course, but then the cats didn't really want to do that because they're cats, not dogs. But she's going to put some cushions up here on this giant climbing frame thing so that her cats can have even more comfort. And you'll notice that she has not put a single cushion on her chair because she doesn't care about herself, because she's very selfless. All of the cushions are for the cats and for the comfort of the cats. So now we're going to go into this little ensuite room that she's got, which this one will turn out to be the most hideous room. I really just went over the top with this, destroying this one, as you'll see as we go through. But yeah, she's got these ruffled towels because, again, she does not care. She's not going to neaten those towels. She's got a potty there for some reason, a pink one. Maybe she tried to potty train the cats, but it didn't work. But she did try, and it's, you know, it's the thought that counts. She thought they maybe would like to do that, but then she had to fork out and get a cat litter tray instead because the cats didn't want to use the potty. And then she's going to come in here, and she's got what we're adding, four areas of the bathroom where the plaster's just fallen off the wall. You're welcome, Gladys. And all of these cracks. I went horrible in this, and she's got all of these water stains up the wall and all of these scratches. I have nothing to say about this room. I just ruined it for her. And then at this point is where I actually found the cat scratches that are actually intended to be cat scratches on the wall. So I obviously went in with 2 lots of those. And now this is the bedroom. And continuing with the thought that this belonged to a small child at some point before Gladys moved in, I've left just this unicorn that the child's painted on the wall. And Gladys decided, you know what? I don't mind that. I'm going to keep it. so that's there. And she's got this bed frame, and she's given herself a single bed and used the other half of the bed frame to create a sort of cat sleeping area. Because again, she's just selfless and she wants the cats to have a nice place to sleep more than herself. I'm being so awful to Gladys in this build by not giving her a nicer house, when she's such a selfless, nice lady and she just cares about the animals, especially the cats. Actually, only the cats. I feel like she doesn't like dogs very much. And then she's coming in with an absolute plethora and mismatch of all sorts of different textiles in this room, as per the rest of her house. Keeping it quite pink, light. You'll notice the nicest things, again, are the cat things, and I gave her a rubber duck because I just felt like she needed that in her bedroom. I don't know why. It's even more cat rugs, various cat things, and then she's gonna really play. I feel like she saw that unicorn on the wall and deciding that no, a child did that and I should paint over it. She thought, I'm going to add my own, actually. I'm going to extend upon this concept. And so she's added what presumably these stickers she got from a dentist once and shoved them in the bathroom. And she's got all of these little cat stickers that she's going to stick on the wall as well. And you know what? I feel like she's really just saved money there, hasn't she, in going with the concept that already existed in this bedroom when she moved in. So you can't say she's not an intelligent woman. And here we are with the finished build. Here's the entryway, which really just, gives you a sample of what the rest of the build's going to be like. Here's the entry with the cat scratches for the bathroom, because Gladys has not been allowed to pee in peace for many decades. The bathroom itself with all the scratch marks and the wall where all the laundry humidity has just molded the wall. I'm so sorry, Gladys. This room, which is just a cat room. Every single room is just a cat room. The kitchen, where the entire central area is just a cat serving area. I've added a few more details, maybe. I don't remember. We have the cat bedroom, where Gladys has this little bed here. It's just... and then this room. I'm so sorry, Gladys. The tooth fairy things on the wall. I can't. Why did I do that? And then here she is, watching her TV in a tiny little corner of the living room, where the rest of the room is just only for the cats. As it should be. And as I leave you with the travesty of her exterior, I will say thank you so much for watching. Be kind to yourselves, and I will see you in the next one.